Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, welcome to Studio 71.
Thank you. It's good to be
Everett,
here.
how you doing, man?
Just fine, thank you.
Hey, for the sake of the camera, tell us who you are, name, rank, and serial number, and what you're doing here. Why don't you go first, Everett?
My name is Everett Adams, and I'm the CEO of Systems Consulting. This is my wife and the president of Systems Consulting.
So this is, you work for her, is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, well, exactly.
Okay, long as we got that straight. So
This is
for
the
the
boss.
audience, so we start here and then go to you. Right?
Yes, okay.
Let's talk about your company. Tell us what you do and where you are.
Well, Systems Consulting is a project management and consulting firm. We focus primarily on quality assurance project controls for large transit and infrastructure projects.
Is it just transit or is it transportation?
Transportation as a whole. We do anything from tunnels, bridges,
So vertical and
highways,
horizontal?
exactly, and rail.
And rail.
And rail.
So where are you working primarily right now?
Well, right now we're the quality manager for the Eagle P3 project in Denver, Colorado, the North Metro Rail project, as well as the Eastlink project
They're both in Denver?
Seattle.
Oh, in
well,
Seattle.
We're in Seattle and the Denver markets.
Where's your corporate office?
In Seattle.
Oh, in Seattle.
Tacoma, Washington.
Is that where you are in Seattle?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
So what's coming up next for you? What are you looking at doing next?
Well, we're looking to, we've been working in design and construction by the name, her name is Gretchen Adams. We've been working in design and construction mostly. We're looking towards going deeper back into the process of procurement, and that is to get involved with the startups, get involved with conceptual design and pre-design, where they're doing CEPAs and NEPAs, that type of thing, providing estimating, scheduling, and if so they have quality assurance on the things that they're trying to present to clients.
How are you doing your workforce? Are you just getting lucky and finding employees, or do you have a plan to grow?
Well,
Gretchen
Gretchen heads up our HR, and she has an extensive search for staff. It's an ongoing thing. I have to admit it's one of the most difficult parts of this work.
The HR piece?
Yes, and we are trying to extend farther into the colleges to begin recruiting there.
Are you looking for engineers, accountants, or
Yes, sir.
yes?
Yes.
Yeah. How's that working, Gretchen?
Well, it's working okay for the full-time or the FTEs, but the part-time is a little bit challenging to build capacity in that arena. We have recruited for some of the universities. We have internship programs that have been, I think, fruitful. We're looking forward to working with Comto more, to work with the program that they have in place to recruit students that have been in the system.
Now, we've talked about that, about what you want to do next year. Talk to me. What do you have in mind for next year, next summer?
As far as
interns and getting engineers and young folk into the pipeline?
Well, between Comto and Women in Transportation, I've been recruiting there, as well as some of the local universities in Seattle, Washington, University of Washington. We're hopeful to at least have 2 interns, one in operations and one in engineering.
Now, the way that the program works is intern comes to you and it's 75% what you do and 25% of the Comto family feeling. Does that work with you?
I'm sorry?
I mean, basically, you've got an intern for the summer.
Right.
And in partnership with us, you'll spend the majority of your time working your project. But part of that time has to be appreciating Comto, the history and the mentoring part. Dress right dress and getting them ready for the workforce.
I think we do an excellent job of that and trying to prepare them to go on to greater heights. And also a platform for them to be introduced to the consulting field and engineering positions and so forth.
We have hands-on on all levels. When they come to work with us, even our interns, they're doing actual work on live projects,
Right,
whether it's they're working on our SOQs, helping us with the statement of qualifications. They are out in the field working in golf tournaments, promoting marketing.
Doing work, right.
Exactly. Shadowing some of the engineers, to support them. Say, for instance, Victoria, when Naomi was supporting Victoria this summer, Victoria is our project controls lead, She does scheduling and estimating. Our intern would work directly with her to support her in documentation.
What about you personally taking young ladies or young men and talking about dress and resume writing and presentation and oral skills?
Okay. Yes, definitely. In fact, that's been part of what I've done for years, whether it's homeless women, getting them back into the workplace, or interns, showing them the right dress, the difference between dressing conservatively, dressing professionally.
Correctly, absolutely, yeah.
Correctly.
It really kind of ticks you off when you see young folk not ready to go to work.
Right.
And some of it stems back to them having been told by people who are in business. I think a lot we're kind of shying away from saying something to some of the kids.
It's a generational thing.
But you'd be surprised how many of them really want direction
Exactly.
about how to handle themselves in business situations.
And I think too, it's approach, the way that you approach them to deliver that message.
The thing that's been working well for us is because of leaders like you who have that feeling about what we're really trying to do. It's not just here's an internship, 9 to 5. It's this whole family approach.
Yes.
You got to come in, you got to listen to us, and at the end of the day, if they work in transportation, that's great. But I think we all agree that if they just work somewhere and make a contribution, that's greater.
Well, we start out with the orientation. Sorry, my friend here.
Okay.
We start out with an orientation process that lasts 2 weeks. It lasts 2 weeks. The first week is kind of an overview of the company, the vision, the mission, what we do as far as on the transportation and on the environmental side, because that's another market that we're in. We kind of give them a 30,000 foot view
of the battlefield.
Exactly. All right, and then point them in the direction to where if they want to go deeper
and guide them.
And guide them. We take them to websites, agency websites, industry websites, so that they can drill down in areas that they might want to focus in, whether it's engineering or operations or project controls. They can go to marketing and advertising as well. You know, we teach them how to go to ENR and their website and drill down on the calendar to see what's going on.
Presentations to,
oh, most definitely.
Oh, for sure.
Really?
Definitely.
They usually, on the average, everybody in our company has to do a weekly activity report, including the interns.
Including the interns.
And they're going to tell us what they're doing, who they're interfacing with.
They present that to you or to
Yes.
Every week. Every week.
Yeah.
On Monday morning, we're expecting the activity report for the previous week.
Are you getting good feedback from them?
Oh, definitely.
Oh, yeah. Well, we get a chance to see how they're seeing things.
And what they
It
understand.
can be totally different.
Yeah.
From what you and I see.
Some of it's kind of unique, though, and from a new perspective, from what we've basically been looking at. But then sometimes we'll get you back on the right track where you're supposed to be
technology has
going.
made a difference, right?
Oh, my God.
It really has.
Yeah.
Our young intern, in fact, this summer, she came in and we bought new computers for the office this year. She came in, she set the network up, she created a test lab on her own accord. You know, she grabs the project management book one of our schedulers wrote, and she's reading it unsolicited from us. I mean, she is full
This is
force.
about lunchtime on the first day.
Okay,
Of course.
Yeah.
all right, you know. So we're pretty excited about that. You know, not only us giving them information, but then working directly with our folks, our FTEs, and then pointing them to the direction. You know, if they wanted to drill down deeper.
You mentioned the Rotary Club. Tell me quickly about the Rotary Club, your passion.
Well, Rotary International, I belong to Rotary 8, which is the 8th oldest, and basically it's for community service. We do a lot of global outreach. My focus has been on the foreign student exchange program. So we've hosted students from Nigeria, from Brazil, from Taiwan, from Ecuador, a year. A year. They stay within the city for a year. They have 3 host families that they stay with, so they can have 3 distinctly different experiences.
That through your
We're really one of the host families, and I'm on the committee for that. And also for students that want to go to other countries as well. So they come here for a year. They finish the senior year of high school at one of the local high schools. Wow. Some of them have already finished high school in their country. Maybe, you know, this is their first year after high school. A lot of them have not finished. They're like juniors going into their senior year. They do, some of them speak, you know, by the time they leave us, they speak fluently, because we put them on the bus to ride to school so that they can be engrossed.
Immersed into the city.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly. And when they leave us, they're speaking very fluent English.
Do they stay in touch with you?
Oh, definitely.
Oh.
In fact, the one that we have from Nigeria, I'm sorry, I get excited because I'm passionate.
I do too.
about the students, and they usually stay with us for 3 months in our home.
They stay in your home?
In our home.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they live with us for 3 years.
Good for you.
Or 3 months. But we had one student from Nigeria who, this was last year, we thought that he was staying up late at night. Of course, Nigeria's on a different time frame than we are, but we were trying to get him to go to bed on the regular schedule and that. And we'd see the light on in his room. And so Everett would knock on the door to see, what he was doing. Well, he was searching for schools and applying for universities here in the States. And he was
At 2 o'clock
accepted.
in the morning.
At 2 o'clock in the morning. And so he was accepted into a couple, and he decided to go to the one, St. John's in New York, in Queens.
So he's
there now. He's there now.
there.
Wow.
He's there now.
So he'll be a Comto scholar pretty soon. Is that right?
Definitely.
Well, we're definitely going to hit him up for Comto.
See how it all works together.
Oh, definitely.
Everett,
Well-
you had a comment. I'm sorry, you were saying something.
Well, one of the things that we do with the students that come in, and not only the students, but the interns that we have come in, we teach them how to network themselves, because I think it's important. They don't teach this class in
That's true.
college. And one of the things that they call me in to do is to show them how to network with what they have. Who do they know?
How do you spend your time?
How many steps did it take to you to get to Obama? We put Obama's name on the top
that's
of the
good,
list, and we ask them who do they know, who knows Obama, and we tell them how many steps. Then we'll take a goal that they want to achieve. We'll take Obama's name off the top of the list and put their goal up there. And we talk about
That's great.
what do you know, or who do you know that could get you there?
Who can help you do to climb that
And
ladder? Is that right?
It's amazing, yes. Every
I
time.
like that.
And
That's
when
good.
they finish that, it's amazing how they begin to, all of a sudden, because I challenged them, I said, now you're responsible for making a move. You saw it was exposed to you.
Wow.
It was your story, and it's unique. You're the only one who have that story.
That's great.
No one else has it.
And it's I think imperative because they are so technologically, I call it challenged sometimes when it comes to talking to people face to face,
Well, that-
because they're always
that
here.
Google
That's
machine.
Yeah.
right. They don't have to
Yeah,
interact,
yeah.
So identifying that tree that he creates for them and helps them to know that, hey, I do know some people, and maybe I do need to focus on this area a little bit more to get to where I need to go.
Do you spend any time on the dress and
Well, we definitely,
slides and
because
stuff
when
like
they
that.
come in,
the
they'll
Taiwan
have
On program.
They have various things. We have a program, a group that I belong to in Seattle called the Breakfast Group, and we have Project Mister. And Project Mister is designed to help. A lot of kids are orphaned. And a lot of kids are maybe
Single
under
parents.
single parent or deprived kids. That's mostly young men in the community. And we mentor them throughout the year.
wow.
While they're in school. We furnish scholarships to them also.
Well, when do you guys have time to do your actual job? I'm hearing 5 or 6 things going on at the same time.
We've got a great support group.
It's a part of what's ingrained in us. My father, when he died, there was more of my high school students showed up to his funeral. I couldn't believe it. They were all over the place. I go, my dad knew all these kids.
So you had the long funeral procession, and
I mean,
people
there
you
was
didn't- who you didn't know
miles
right
and
now.
miles. Yeah.
Well, one of the things that I think is really unique about the Project Mister program, and a lot of the city officials and government officials are on board, as well as
Yes.
universities and that.
The governors and so forth.
It's a big thing in Seattle. Is they have the final is a Taiwan On.
Taiwan on.
Taiwan
Yeah.
On, and
Yeah.
the men show the young boys the young men how to tie a tie.
Really?
The different knots and the
I
different
want to
things.
be part of that. I want to.
We will definitely get you an
Invite you.
invitation
Is that
for
a
the
promise, man?
next. Oh, that's a commitment.
Don't make me have to hurt you now.
I know you will.
Yeah, a couple things, and I know you guys got a tight schedule. Talk about your relationship with Phil Washington. Gretchen, please.
Well, I met Phil through my husband Everett here, and he was introduced as a man that was on the move. There was an advocate
like
for
your
many
husband,
of
Yeah.
an advocate of many of the things that we're interested in: transportation, the youth, the commitment to education. workforce development, all of these things really resonated
All those necessary
with
things.
me. So I really looked forward to meeting him. And when I did finally meet him, and we discussed sort of, who we are, what we're looking for, because Phil,
Yeah.
he comes at you straight at, what do you need? What do you need?
Short line.
Yeah. And so, when we conveyed that information to him, he says, this is where, I would make, suggestions, recommendations, and that. And so we followed his direction on that, and it really helped not only our business expand its footprint out of Seattle into the Denver market, but also into Comto, into the CB network. I mean, things have.
You're in the bone net?
He was really sort of he's a platform. He created a platform for which we could expand our horizons and do what is innate for us in Washington.
So it's added plus, right?
Added plus. Very much added plus.
I was thinking about Everett and the combination of a guy like Everett and Phil. If I'm a young man and I see those two guys together, that's really something special. And in a place like Comto, you see that. You'll see Everett and Phil, and you'll see a Keith Parker or TJ all growing up together. And you and I know what that means.
It means a lot.
What we see is what we do.
It means a lot.
We're going to wind down on the interview.
Can I add one more thing about Phil? Phil is an unusual leader, where, from the sense of the point that he really means what he says.
Oh, he does, yeah.
He's passionate about it. He talked to me one day about TODs, the transit-oriented development, and how the displacement of people because of the power of transportation coming through the community. And what are we going to do with the people who live in those communities?
Absolutely.
He's created a program called WIN that is unbelievable.
Very familiar with the WIN program.
I want this WIN. I encourage that this WIN program goes across the United States. I feel like it should be in every city, not just
when you and I first met 4 or 5 years back, back with the first started the project, Phil and I talked about that train ride from downtown Denver out to the airport, and all that open space, and all the things that have to happen as you fill the space, schools, hospitals, and clinics, stores, and that it's not just about the train ride itself, it's about building sustainable communities.
That's right.
And then we've been talking about having young kids tell the story. My dad worked on the railroad and that kind of stuff. So it all comes together. And what happens oftentimes, we start to forget about what we're doing. But when I saw you and Phil together last night, it came full circle to me. I am so proud to be in your network. Really I'm very proud to be in your network.
How about your network?
No, seriously. And I looked at you guys thinking, we're in good hands. I'm a couple years older than you are, but I think we're in good hands. And Gretchen, you're an awesome lady.
Well, thank you.
Well, it takes people who are committed around us.
And that's you.
We have an individual like Phil Adams is supporting us 100%.
And he's bringing other people on.
Yeah, it has to do with, can you trust people in the field to operate and be sincere?
Get Greg Jennifer and those kind of guys who are rock solid, who
people are solid.
Maxine Pryor, who can help you tie one on.
Oh, you know Maxine.
I know Maxine well. Maxine is part of our academy. Every year she takes time with the guys and teach them how to dress, how to fold coats.
Yeah.
So she's dynamite.
Yeah.
So this is the way I work, man. If I find somebody who wants to be on the team, I just find the uniform for him and say, you take this position and it's yours.
And he's been advocating the workforce development in Seattle for the past couple of years, ever since it was introduced to us, to try to get that out there.
Let's find the best time to come to Seattle, man. Hopefully the Seahawks will be on track.
We'll come visit.
Okay, they had a one-off the other day.
We can't beat it down.
Well, I know, but
lose to somebody else.
But we have a Comto in Seattle, but it's the Washington,
the Southwest,
and Oregon.
So would you place it? Would that in turn be exposed to Oregon?
Yes, they could be.
So
yes,
let's pursue that and see where it goes.
Yes,
I know you guys got a tight schedule. I said I'd be brief, but I guess I kind of lost control of time.
That's fine.
Sir and ma'am.
I wanted to add one more too, and that's Johnny Thomas. We were talking about dynamic. Johnny Thomas and his wife have Tri-Unity, and they're doing wonderful things. But we're also talking about collaborating and partnering small businesses, you know, on these and to pursue these projects, and that is so important.
Let's do it. I mean, I know Johnny, I know Tri-Unity. I just go to Trinity. Let's go ahead and do this thing in Denver, Seattle, Portland. That's on the left coast, opposed to.
Yes.
But
call it the left coast.
The left coast, opposed to the real coast.
That's the real coast.
So, guys, thank you for your time, but more importantly, thank you for being who you are.
All right.
This has been great, and Studio 71 is your home now. So
definitely,
here we come.
Thank you for inviting us.
Take care, Gretchen. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.